Hello, welcome to our next unit. Hopefully you didn't find Unit 1 too difficult, nor the exam. I'll be checking and updating grades as we go along, but we are now entering officially our second unit. This unit deals with interpersonal communication theories. So all of these theories are going to be about our relationships. And again, this is a whole area of study in communication. So if you're really interested in how we communicate in these relationship chapters, you'll definitely want to look at your upper division course called Relational. So these are just a few of the theories. Obviously, there's hundreds. I've picked ones that I think are most interesting and are some of the basic theories that you'll hear in the field. So Chapter 5 deals with Symbolic Interactionism, George Herbert Mead. And really this theory looks at how we create meaning about who we are using language or communication. That basically we create meaning when we talk to people. We find out who we are when we talk to other people. There is a saying that says, there's who you think you are, who other people think you are, and who you think other people think you are. So we have many different selves, and we often use language to create those different selves. And that then becomes part of our identity. So meaning arises out of social interaction. Our parents are probably some of the biggest influence that we have on who we think we are. Our significant others have a big influence. Students would tell me all the time, "You're not funny. You're not funny. I think I'm hysterical." They say, "You're not funny." So, okay, maybe I'm not so funny. People communicate and we create meaning about who we are. So language is that means by which we interact and create meaning about ourselves. We know that language is symbolic. All that means is words don't have meanings, but people do. And certain words have different triggers for us, maybe have different values for different people. I made a pledge to stop swearing as much in class last year. Yeah, that didn't work so well, but I know a lot of people don't like that and has different triggers and values for them. And then it also, if I use cuss words a lot, stigmatizes me. And people then have perceptions about me because of the language I'm using. Our language also affects our thought process, how we can think. I often try to tell students, think of something without putting a word to it. You can't. And of course, this is why we often say Eskimos have 23 different words for snow. Their reality is different. So they have more words to describe that reality. I think the same would probably be true of surfers here in San Diego. They probably have a much broader lexicon to describe waves and water than I do. So language is the way that we create meaning. It's the only way we can communicate. We can do that non-verbally, but again, we're still using language or symbols. So even when you're driving on the freeway and you're mad and you flip somebody off, that's a symbol, and you're creating meaning when you do that. So there's a couple of terms that go along with the social construction of reality that you should be familiar with. And here they are. Charles Cooley came up with the notion of the looking glass self. And basically, again, this is that other people you reflect back on yourself. So our self-concept, who we think we are, results from other people in our life. And I've asked you to do this in the activity for today. I say, ask yourself, who am I 20 times? Sounds pretty simple, I know. Most of you are going to put number 1, your name, because that's who you are. But you are also going to put other words that describe you in terms of significant others. Maybe you're a daughter, maybe you're a son, maybe you're a friend, maybe you're a caregiver. Okay, so what happens is other people reflect back on us, and we decide who we are based on those interactions. We have I, this objective self, and me, or I, the subjective self, and me, the objective self. What that means is who I think I am is subjective to some degree. And we often refer to this as self-esteem. So your self-esteem is very subjective, but If you are an introvert, I'm an introvert. It's true. That is an objective quality about me. I can't change that. But whether or not I like that quality is the I. Hopefully that makes sense. I can say I'm tall. That's objective. That's me. I am tall. Can't fix that. Well, I probably could, but I'm not chopping my legs off today. How I feel about it, actually, I love that I'm taller than most women. So that's my I feel good about that. So think of the I as somewhat of your self-esteem, and the me is more the objective. And we often will call that our self-concept. And those are the things that are true about us. We don't, I have brown hair. Now I can say I hate my brown hair. I don't like it. That's the subjective. And then we also have the generalized other. This is the mental image the person has based on societal expectations and how other people respond. I don't do good with this one because I usually don't meet societal expectations. So people think I'm a little crazy. And is that the image I want to portray? So I might think about that based on the stories I tell or the language I use, and maybe I need to change something to have a better generalized other representation of who people think I am. It's probably not going to happen. So, okay, hopefully I got through those. Most all those terms are in the sidebars in the chapter. And anytime I highlight something like that in the PowerPoint, that's a good sign that it's important, and you should definitely take a look at those terms. Here's a few more ways that we create meaning. Naming, labels given to us. That's essentially what I'm asking you to do in the activity that's following, is give me your labels. Like, are you a friend? Are you a coffee lover? Are you a shopper? Are you a Green Party enthusiast? Who are you? What are your labels? Labels affect us because you even have a label of student. I love the student label. The student label means I can wear my pajamas to class. I don't need to do my hair. And I can fall asleep or be on my Snapchat during class. So when I went back for another master's, I was no better. I definitely came to class, sweatpants, played on my Facebook. I was a student. Having that label as a student gave me a freedom to act in a different way. Okay. Now, self-fulfilling prophecy, you may have heard this term before in 103, or if you took a lower division interpersonal course, and that is that oftentimes we tend to believe what other people tell us about ourselves, even if it's not true. Probably the biggest one that I know a lot of people relate to, especially women, is I'm not good at math. And so you tell yourself, I'm not good at math. Other people tell you, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at math. Guess what? You start believing you're not good at math, and you fulfill the prophecy. And I certainly did this in college until I took a statistics course, I think my last year. And I said, this is silly. I'm a smart person. I have almost a 4.0 GPA. I can do math. And I did. So sometimes we have to break our own self-fulfilling prophecies. Don't necessarily believe what other people are telling you. It may be true, but question it. And symbol manipulation is the last term in the chapter, using language to evoke new meaning for a larger societal group. Here's how I'm going to explain this one. We have all kinds of new words, and I am constantly learning them, even in the college age group. So, for instance, you're going to laugh at me, I know, but when "bae" came out, that was a big word. I'm trying to think of some other new ones. "Bae" is coming to mind, and I'm not thinking of anything else. "Lit," I probably shouldn't say that one, but I know that one's out there. And my son taught me a new one recently as well that I'm forgetting. But you could probably come up with a whole bunch of symbol manipulation and words that your generation is using that maybe create meaning for a larger group. And that's what that term is talking about. So this whole chapter here is simply looking at how we create meaning in our own identity through our language. It's the only way we can create meaning. So I want to know a little bit about how you see yourself. 20 words. Who am I? And we will continue on the theme of interpersonal in the next chapter.